Hello, and welcome to the Learn and Talk English podcast. I'm your host, Maria, and I'm absolutely delighted you've chosen to spend your valuable time learning with me today. Whether you're listening at home, during your commute, while exercising, or taking a peaceful walk, you're engaging in something truly remarkable. You're actively improving your English skills, and that deserves recognition and celebration. Today's episode focuses on a fundamental aspect of language learning: everyday conversations. These are the linguistic interactions that form the backbone of real-world communication. When you visit a healthcare professional, when you order your favorite beverage at a cafe, when you navigate transportation systems in English-speaking countries. This comprehensive lesson will provide you with authentic stories, detailed vocabulary analysis, grammar insights, pronunciation guidance, and cultural context. Most importantly, it will build your confidence to communicate effectively in English. By the end of this podcast, you will be able to recognize and use essential vocabulary for medical appointments, food service interactions, and travel situations. You'll understand key grammar patterns including present tense descriptions of symptoms, polite request formations, and question structures for seeking information. You'll appreciate cultural nuances in English-speaking countries regarding healthcare, etiquette, service interactions, and transportation customs. You'll pronounce target vocabulary with proper stress patterns and intonation, and you'll construct grammatically accurate sentences for real-life scenarios. Let's begin our journey with our first comprehensive story. Before we dive into Anna's experience, let's establish our learning framework. This story will demonstrate several important grammar patterns: present tense for describing current symptoms, modal verbs for expressing necessity, question formation for seeking medical help, and polite language for professional interactions. From a cultural perspective, we'll explore healthcare etiquette in English-speaking countries. The appointment system. Patient-doctor communication styles. An appropriate language for describing medical concerns. Anna is from Brazil. She relocated to London 6 months ago for her graduate studies. This morning, she awakens feeling quite unwell. Her throat is painful and scratchy. Her head throbs with a persistent ache. She has developed a fever that makes her feel weak and dizzy. She thinks to herself, "I need to see a doctor immediately." Notice how Anna uses the modal verb need plus infinitive to see to express necessity. This is a common pattern: subject plus need plus to plus base verb. At the local clinic, the receptionist greets her warmly. "Good morning, how may I assist?" "You today?" In English-speaking countries, healthcare receptionists typically use formal, polite language. The phrase, "How may I assist you?" is more professional than, "How can I help you?" Anna responds carefully. "I feel very sick. I have a sore throat and other symptoms." The word throat contains the challenging "th" sound. Practice placing your tongue between your teeth. "Do you have an appointment scheduled?" the receptionist inquires. This is a yes-no question using the auxiliary verb do. The structure is do plus subject plus have plus object. Anna explains, "No, I don't have an appointment, but I really need medical attention." Anna uses really as an intensifier to emphasize urgency while maintaining politeness. "Please take a seat in the waiting area," the receptionist instructs. "A doctor will see you shortly." Take a seat is a polite imperative. In healthcare settings, patients are expected to wait patiently unless experiencing a medical emergency. 15 minutes later, Anna enters the consultation room. The doctor asks professionally, "What seems to be the problem today?" This is a standard opening question in medical consultations. What seems to be is gentler than what is the problem. Anna describes her condition. "My throat hurts significantly. I feel extremely tired. It's difficult to swallow food or liquids." Anna uses present tense to describe current symptoms. Hurts is third person singular. Feel describes her current state. It's difficult to expresses challenge or difficulty. The doctor conducts a thorough examination and explains, "You have a mild throat infection. I'll prescribe medication for you. Take 1 tablet every 8 hours with food, drink plenty of water throughout the day, and get adequate rest." Mild means not severe. Prescribe means to recommend medication. Adequate means sufficient or enough. Anna responds gratefully, "Thank you very much, doctor. I appreciate your help." She leaves the clinic feeling relieved and accomplished. She successfully navigated a medical appointment in English. Now let's analyze the vocabulary from Anna's story in detail. Each word comes with pronunciation guidance, multiple examples, and usage notes. Appointment. This is pronounced with stress on the second syllable. Appointment. It means a scheduled meeting with a professional. Let me give you several examples. I made an appointment with my dentist for next Tuesday. Do you have an appointment? Or is this a walk-in visit? The appointment was rescheduled due to the doctor's emergency. Some synonyms include meeting, consultation, and booking. Common collocations are make an appointment, cancel an appointment, and keep an appointment. In most English-speaking countries, medical appointments are essential and should be made in advance. Sore throat. This is pronounced with sore rhyming with more, and throat, having the th sound. It means pain and irritation in the throat. Here are examples. I have a sore throat and can barely speak. Sore throats are common during winter months. Warm tea can help soothe a sore throat. Related terms include scratchy throat, throat irritation, and pharyngitis, which is the medical term. A common mistake is saying throat pain. Sore throat is the standard expression. This is a compound noun that functions as a single unit. Take a seat. This is pronounced with connected speech, making it sound like take a seat. It's a polite way to say please sit down. Examples include, please take a seat and the manager will be with you shortly. Take a seat anywhere you'd like in the waiting room. The host said, take a seat at the dining table. This is polite and professional language. Alternatives include, please sit down, have a seat, and please be seated. This phrase shows respect and hospitality in professional settings. Mild infection. Mild rhymes with child, and the stress in infection is on feck. It means are all minor illness caused by bacteria or viruses. Examples. The doctor diagnosed a mild infection that should clear up quickly. Mild infections often resolve without strong antibiotics. She had a mild infection but felt much better after treatment. The antonym would be severe infection or serious infection. In medical context, this indicates the condition is not dangerous or life-threatening. Mild is an adjective modifying infection, plenty of. This is pronounced with stress on plen, and of is often reduced. It means a large amount of something, more than enough. Examples. Drink plenty of water when you're sick. There's plenty of time to finish the project. Make sure you get plenty of rest this weekend. Use it with uncountable nouns like plenty of water, plenty of time, plenty of sleep. Use it with countable nouns like plenty of books, plenty of opportunities. This is informal to neutral register, suitable for most contexts. Let's explore the grammar patterns we've seen in this medical context. When describing current medical symptoms, English uses the simple present tense. My throat hurts, not my throat is hurting. I feel tired describes current state. It's difficult to swallow expresses current experience. For medical necessity, we use modal verbs. I need to see a doctor shows strong necessity. You should rest gives advice or recommendation. You must take this medication expresses strong obligation. You can take pain relievers indicates permission or possibility. Question formation in medical contexts follows specific patterns. Yes/no questions like, do you have an appointment? Well, questions like, what seems to be the problem? Information questions like, how long have you felt this way? From a cultural perspective, in most English-speaking countries, healthcare operates on an appointment system. Walk-in visits are possible but may involve longer waiting times. Patients are expected to arrive punctually and bring identification and insurance information. Medical professionals use formal, respectful language. Patients are encouraged to ask questions and describe symptoms clearly. The relationship is professional but caring, with emphasis on clear communication and informed consent. Healthcare etiquette includes patients waiting quietly in designated areas. Mobile phone use should be minimal and respectful. Payment discussions occur after treatment, and follow-up appointments are common for ongoing care. Now let's move to our second story, which explores service industry interactions, specifically, ordering at a coffee shop. We'll examine polite request patterns, clarification strategies, and error resolution techniques. This scenario demonstrates how miscommunication occurs and how to handle it gracefully. Our grammar focus areas include conditional statements, polite request formations, and present perfect tense for describing experiences. Culturally, we'll explore coffee shop etiquette, name-taking practices, and customer service expectations in English-speaking countries. Ben is visiting New York City for the first time. He's a software engineer from Germany, and this is his first business trip to the United States. He enters a bustling coffee shop in Manhattan, feeling slightly overwhelmed by the fast-paced environment. The barista, wearing a friendly smile and speaking with typical New York efficiency, asks, "What can I get for you today?" This is a polite way to ask, "What would you like?" The modal can makes the question less direct and more courteous. Ben responds, carefully, pronouncing each word clearly, "I'd like a medium hot chocolate, please." "I'd like" is a contraction of "I would like," which is more polite than "I want." The structure is "I'd like" plus article plus adjective plus noun plus please. In American coffee shops, sizes are typically small, medium, and large. Some chains use unique terminology like tall, grande, and venti. The barista continues with standard procedure. "What's your name for the order?" Coffee shops take names to identify orders when they're ready. This prevents confusion when multiple customers are waiting. Ben replies clearly, "Ben." The name Ben is short and simple, but in noisy environments it can be misheard. A few minutes later, someone behind the counter calls out loudly, "Bev! Hot chocolate for Bev!" Ben looks around confused, thinking to himself, "Bev? That's definitely not my name." Ben uses the present tense is for stating facts. The adverb definitely emphasizes certainty. Waits patiently for several more minutes, watching other customers collect their orders. Finally, he approaches the counter and says politely, "Excuse me, I think there might be a misunderstanding. I ordered a hot chocolate, but my name is Ben, not Bev." Ben uses several polite strategies. "Excuse me" to get attention politely. "I think there might be" to suggest possibility rather than accusation, and "misunderstanding" instead of mistake to avoid blame. The barista's face lights up with recognition. "Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you said Bev. That's my mistake." The barista uses multiple apology strategies. "Oh," as expression of realization, "I'm so sorry," as strong apology with intensifier, and "that's my mistake" taking responsibility. Ben responds graciously, "No problem at all. These things happen." Ben uses common phrases for accepting apologies. "No problem" dismissing the issue, and "these things happen" acknowledging that mistakes are normal. The barista hands him his hot chocolate with an apologetic smile. "Here you go, Ben. Thanks for being so understanding." Good customer service includes acknowledging the customer's patience and using their correct name. Let's analyze the vocabulary from Ben's coffee shop experience comprehensively. Barista. This is pronounced with stress on the second syllable, barista. It comes from Italian, meaning bartender. A barista is a person who prepares and serves coffee drinks. Examples. The barista recommended their signature blend. She worked as a barista while studying at university. The experienced barista created beautiful latte art. This is used in coffee shops, cafes, and specialty beverage stores. Related terms include coffee maker, cafe worker, and beverage specialist. In specialty coffee culture, baristas are skilled professionals who take pride in their craft. Order. This is pronounced with stress on the first syllable, order. As a noun, it means a request for food or drinks. As a verb, it means to request something. Noun examples. I'd like to place an order for 2 coffees. The order will be ready in 5 minutes. They got my order wrong and gave me tea instead of coffee. Verb examples. I want to order a sandwich and a drink. She ordered the same thing as yesterday. We should order before the kitchen closes. Collocations include place an order, take an order, fill an order, and cancel an order. This is essential vocabulary for any commercial transaction. Confused. This is pronounced with stress on the second syllable, confused. It means unable to understand something clearly or uncertain. Examples. I was confused when they called the wrong name. The directions were confusing, and I got lost. She looked confused during the explanation. Synonyms include puzzled, bewildered, perplexed, and uncertain. Antonyms are clear, certain, understanding, and confident. It can be used with about, as in confused about something, or by, as in confused by something. This describes a temporary mental state, not permanent inability. Misunderstanding. This is pronounced with 4 syllables and stress on stand. Misunderstanding. It means a failure to understand something correctly or a disagreement due to poor communication. Examples. There was a misunderstanding about the meeting time. The argument was just a simple misunderstanding. Let's clear up this misunderstanding right away. The verb form is misunderstand, as in, I misunderstood what you said. Using misunderstanding is more polite than mistake or error in diplomatic language. This is essential vocabulary for resolving communication problems. No problem. This is often contracted in speech to sound like no prob. It's a polite way to say something is acceptable or to dismiss an apology. Usage contexts include accepting apologies. Sorry I'm late. No problem. Responding to thanks. Thank you for your help. No problem. Agreeing to requests. Can you help me? No problem. This is casual to neutral formality, appropriate in most situations. Alternatives include don't worry about it, it's fine, that's okay, and you're welcome. This is very common in American English and shows friendliness and understanding. English offers multiple ways to make polite requests in service contexts. I'd like is most common in service contexts. Could I have is very polite. Can I get is casual, but acceptable. I'll take is confident and common in American English. When communication breaks down, use clarification strategies like, I think there might be a misunderstanding. Could you repeat that, please? I'm not sure I understand. And let me clarify. For handling mistakes politely, use error resolution language such as, I believe there's been a mix-up. This isn't what I ordered. Could you check my order, please? And I think there's been an error. Coffee shops in English-speaking countries typically follow a queue system. Customers wait in line, study the menu, and place orders efficiently. It's considered polite to know what you want before reaching the counter. Most coffee shops ask for names to identify orders. This system prevents confusion and creates a more personal experience. If your name is difficult to pronounce, you might consider using a simpler version or nickname. In the United States, tipping baristas is common but not mandatory. $1 or loose change is typical for simple orders. In other English-speaking countries, tipping practices vary significantly. Coffee shops, especially in urban areas, prioritize speed and efficiency. Customers are expected to be ready to order and move quickly through the line. However, staff are generally patient with non-native speakers who need extra time. Now let's explore our final story, which examines transportation vocabulary and travel-related interactions. We'll explore question formation for seeking information, comparative language for discussing options, and future tense for travel planning. This scenario highlights the importance of understanding transportation terminology, asking for clarification when confused, and making informed decisions about travel options. Culturally, we'll discuss transportation systems, ticketing procedures, and travel etiquette. Nora is from Egypt, currently pursuing her master's degree in international business. She's visiting France for a conference and needs to travel from Paris to Lyon for a presentation. Having studied English extensively, she feels confident about navigating the train station, but she wants to ensure she purchases the correct ticket. At the ticket counter in Gare de Lyon station, she approaches the clerk with a friendly smile and says, "Good morning. I'd like to purchase a ticket to Lyon, please." Nora uses formal, polite language appropriate for official transactions. "I'd like to purchase" is more formal than "I want to buy." The ticket clerk, accustomed to international travelers, responds professionally, "Certainly. Would you prefer a one-way ticket or a round-trip ticket?" The clerk presents 2 options using "would you prefer," which is extremely polite and gives the customer choice. Nora pauses thoughtfully and asks, Could you explain the difference? I'm not entirely familiar with these terms. Noura demonstrates excellent communication skills by asking for clarification rather than guessing. I'm not entirely familiar is diplomatic language for I don't understand. The clerk explains patiently, certainly. A one-way ticket allows you to travel to Lyon but doesn't include a return journey to Paris. A round-trip ticket includes both the journey to Lyon and the return journey back to Paris. The clerk uses clear, simple language with parallel structure to explain the concepts. Noura nods with understanding. Ah, I see. In that case, I'd like a round-trip ticket, please. I'll be returning to Paris tomorrow evening. Ah, I see, shows understanding. In that case, introduces her decision based on the new information. The clerk continues, excellent. Would you like first-class or second-class seating? Transportation often involves multiple choices that affect price and comfort. Noura considers her budget and responds, what's the difference in price and comfort between first and second class? Noura asks for specific comparative information to make an informed decision. The clerk provides detailed information. First class offers larger seats, more legroom, complimentary refreshments, and quieter carriages. It costs approximately €50 more than second class. Second class provides comfortable seating and is perfectly adequate for the 3-hour journey. The clerk uses comparative language and provides specific details to help the customer decide. Noura makes her decision. Second class will be perfect for my needs, thank you. Will be perfect, expresses satisfaction with the choice. The clerk finalizes the transaction. Wonderful. Your train departs at 11:30 from platform number 6. The journey takes approximately 3 hours and you'll arrive in Lyon at 2:30 in the afternoon. Here's your ticket and receipt. The clerk provides comprehensive details including departure time, platform, duration, and arrival time. Noura expresses gratitude. Thank you very much for your assistance. You've been extremely helpful. Noura uses formal language to express genuine appreciation for good service. Let's examine the transportation vocabulary from Noura's story in comprehensive detail. One way. This is pronounced as 2 words with equal stress. One way. It means a ticket or journey that goes to a destination without returning. Examples. I bought a one-way ticket to London because I'm moving there permanently. The one-way flight was cheaper than I expected. She took a one-way trip across the country to start her new job. The antonym is round trip or return ticket. This is used in transportation and travel planning contexts, especially for permanent moves. It's used as an adjective before nouns like one-way ticket or one-way street. Round trip. This is pronounced with equal stress on both words. Round trip. It means a journey to a destination and back to the starting point. Examples. The round trip to the mountains takes about 6 hours. Round-trip tickets are often more economical than 2 one-way tickets. We planned a round trip through several European countries. The British equivalent is return ticket. This is often an economic consideration as it's frequently cheaper than purchasing 2 separate one-way tickets. It requires knowing your return date in advance for planning purposes. Platform. This is pronounced with stress on the first syllable, platform. It means a raised area beside railway tracks where passengers board trains. Examples. The train to Manchester departs from platform. Number 3. Passengers should wait on the platform until the train arrives. The platform was crowded with commuters during rush hour. Platform is universal terminology, though Americans also use track. This is important for navigation and safety in train stations. Related terms include boarding area, departure point, and station platform. Track number. Track rhymes with back, and stress is on num in number. It means the numbered railway line where a specific train operates. Examples. Your train leaves. From track number 8. The announcement said to check the board for track number changes. Track number 5 is currently out of service. Americans often say track instead of platform. This information is usually displayed on departure boards and tickets. It's essential for finding the correct train for navigation purposes. Second class. This is pronounced with stress on sec and class, SEC on class. It means standard seating. Accommodation on trains, typically less expensive than first class. Examples. Second class seating is comfortable and affordable. I always travel second class because it's good value for money. The second-class carriage was nearly full during peak hours. This is less luxurious than first class, but adequate for most travelers. It's an economic choice, significantly less expensive than premium options. The quality level is comfortable and suitable for most journey lengths. English uses several structures for future travel plans. I will travel to Lyon tomorrow uses simple future. I'm traveling to Lyon tomorrow uses present continuous for planned future. I'm going to travel to Lyon expresses planned intention. When comparing travel options, use comparative structures like first class is more expensive than second class, the train is faster than the bus, and this route is the most direct. Essential question patterns for travel information include what time does the train leave? For specific information, how long does the journey take? For duration, which platform does it depart from? For location, and how much does it cost? For price, European train systems typically offer multiple ticket types and classes. Understanding these options helps travelers make informed decisions based on budget, comfort preferences, and journey length. Train stations in English-speaking countries use clear signage and announcements. Departure boards display real-time information, and staff are available to assist travelers. Digital displays and public address systems provide updates in multiple languages. Passengers are expected to have tickets ready for inspection, keep noise levels reasonable, and offer priority seating to elderly or disabled travelers. Mobile. Phone conversations should be brief and quiet. When traveling internationally, it's important to understand local transportation customs, payment methods, and reservation requirements. Many systems now offer mobile ticketing and contactless payment options. Now let's focus on pronunciation mastery. I'll provide phonetic transcription, stress patterns, and common pronunciation challenges for each phrase. For medical appointment, phrases, repeat each phrase slowly, then at normal speed. I'd like to make an appointment has stress pattern. I'd like to make an appointment. In connected speech, I'd like to often sounds like I'd like to. The T in appointment is clearly pronounced. I have a sore throat and a fever presents the challenge of the teach sound in throat. Place your tongue between your teeth. Stress, sore throat and a fever. Practice the natural flow between words for proper rhythm. Take 1 tablet every 8 hours, has stress. Take 1 tablet every 8 hours. Number pronunciation. 8 is pronounced as e-it, not g-it. Use clear, measured pace for medical instruction rhythm. For service industry phrases, focus on polite intonation patterns. I'd like a medium coffee, please. Uses polite rising intonation on please. Stress. I'd like a medium coffee, please. Size pronunciation. Medium is medium with stress on first syllable. What's your name? For the order. Uses question intonation with rising tone on order. In connected speech, what's your sounds like what's your. Use clear, friendly tone as service industry standard. No problem, it happens, has stress. No problem, it happens. Use casual, understanding tone with natural rhythm, slightly faster than formal speech. For transportation phrases, practice clear, confident delivery. I'd like a round-trip ticket to Lyon has stress. I'd like a round-trip ticket to Lyon, French. Pronunciation, Lyon is Lyon in English context. Use formal transaction tone that's clear and purposeful. What time is the next train? Uses question intonation with rising tone throughout. Stress. What time is the next train? Use information seeking. Tone that's polite but direct. Which platform does it depart from? Has stress. Which platform does it depart from? The preposition at the end is natural in spoken English. Use clear articulation as it's important for understanding directions. Let's practice expressing uncertainty politely with these diplomatic phrases. I'm not entirely sure about that. I think there might be a misunderstanding. Could you clarify that for me, please? And I'm not completely familiar with that term. For making polite requests, here are escalating levels of politeness. Direct. Give me a coffee. Polite. Can I have a coffee? More polite. Could I have a coffee, please? Very polite. I'd like a coffee if possible. Extremely polite. I wonder if I might have a coffee, please. Essential phrases for when communication breaks down include, I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you repeat that more slowly? I'm having trouble understanding, and let me make sure I understand correctly. Now, let's explore some listening comprehension exercises to test your understanding. Listen carefully to this medical appointment dialogue. Patient. Good morning. I'd like to see a doctor, please. Receptionist. Do you have an appointment? Patient. No, but I'm feeling quite unwell. Receptionist. What seems to be the problem? Patient. I have a terrible headache and I feel nauseous. Receptionist. Please take a seat. The doctor will see you in about 20 minutes. Consider these questions. Does the patient have an appointment? The answer is no. What are the patient's symptoms? The answer is headache and nausea. How long will the patient wait? The answer is about 20 minutes. What does the receptionist ask the patient to do? The answer is take a seat. Here's a coffee shop dialogue for analysis. Barista. What can I get for you? Customer. I'd like a large cappuccino with extra foam. Barista. Name for the order? Customer. Sarah. Barista calling out, large cappuccino. For Clara. Customer. Excuse me, I think that's mine, but my name is Sarah, not Clara. Barista. Oh, I'm so sorry. Here you go, Sarah. Analysis questions include, what did the customer order? The answer is large cappuccino with extra foam. What name did the barista call? The answer is Clara. How did the customer correct the mistake? The answer is politely explained the error. How did the barista respond? The answer is apologized and corrected the mistake. Let's examine idiomatic expressions in context. Medical context idioms include under the weather, meaning feeling slightly ill, as in, I'm feeling a bit under the weather today. On the mend means recovering from illness, as in, she's on the mend after her surgery. A clean bill of health means medical confirmation of good health, as in, the doctor gave him a clean bill of health. Service industry idioms include, the customer is always right, prioritizing customer satisfaction, as in, even when customers are unreasonable, we remember that the customer is always right. Go the extra mile means provide exceptional service, as in, our staff always go the extra mile to ensure customer satisfaction. Bend over backwards means make extraordinary effort, as in, the manager bent over backwards to resolve the complaint. Travel and transportation idioms include miss the boat, meaning miss an opportunity, as in, if you don't book soon, you'll miss the boat on these low prices. On the right track means proceeding correctly, as in, your travel plans are on the right track. Smooth sailing means easy progress, as in, once you get your visa, it should be smooth sailing. Register variation shows the difference between formal and informal language. For medical appointments, formal language is, I would appreciate an appointment at your earliest convenience, while informal is, can I get an appointment soon? For coffee shop orders, formal is, I would like to order a medium latte, if you please, while informal is, can I get a medium latte? For travel inquiries, formal is, could you provide information regarding departure times? While informal is, when does the train leave? Discourse markers help create fluent speech. For sequencing information, use first of all, or to begin, with, then furthermore, or in addition, and finally, or to conclude. For expressing opinions, use in my opinion, or I believe that, then from my perspective, or it seems to me that, and as far as I'm concerned, or I would argue that. For clarifying and elaborating, use in other words, or that is to say, then for example, or for instance, and what I mean is, or to put it differently. Understanding cultural competence is crucial for effective communication. Healthcare culture varies across English-speaking countries. In the United States, healthcare is primarily private with insurance-based payment systems. Patients often pay co-payments at the time of service. Appointments are essential, and emergency rooms are for urgent care only. In the United Kingdom, the National Health Service provides free healthcare at the point of use. GP or general practitioner appointments are the first point of contact. Patients register with local practices. Canada has a universal healthcare system with provincial variations. Family doctors serve as primary care providers. Some services may have waiting periods for non-urgent procedures. Australia's Medicare provides universal healthcare with a mix of public and private options. Bulk billing allows patients to see doctors without direct payment in many cases. Service industry. Expectations vary by country. Tipping practices differ significantly. In the United States, tip 15–20% in restaurants and $1 to $2 for coffee shops. In the United Kingdom, tip 10–15% in restaurants, but tipping is not expected in coffee shops. Canada follows similar practices to the US. In Australia, tipping is not mandatory but appreciated for exceptional service. Customer service styles also vary. American service is friendly, enthusiastic, and efficiency-focused. British service is polite, reserved, and queue-respecting. Canadian service is courteous, apologetic, and helpful. Australian service is casual, direct, and egalitarian. Transportation etiquette includes important public transport behaviors. Offer seats to elderly, pregnant, or disabled passengers. Keep conversations quiet. Have tickets or payment ready. Allow passengers to exit before boarding. Keep backpacks in front in crowded areas. International travel considerations include arriving early for international flights, typically 2 to 3 hours. Understand visa and documentation requirements. Be aware of customs regulations. Respect local transportation customs. Connected speech patterns are crucial for natural pronunciation. Consonant to vowel linking makes take it easy sound like take it easy, turn off sound like turn off, and check out sound like check out. Vowel to vowel linking makes go away sound like go away, see you sound like see you, and try again sound like try again. Consonant clusters connect sounds. So next train links the T in next to train. First class links the T in first to class. And last stop links the T in last to stop. Rhythm and stress. Patterns distinguish content words from function words. Content words like nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs receive stress. I need to see a doctor, and take 1 tablet every 8 hours. Function words like articles, prepositions, and pronouns are usually unstressed. I need to see a doctor, and take 1 tablet every 8 hours. Intonation patterns serve different functions. Statements use falling intonation. I have a sore throat. Yes/no questions use rising intonation. Do you have an appointment? Why questions use falling intonation. What seems to be the problem? Lists use rising intonation on items and falling on the last item. I have a headache, nausea, and a fever. Now, let's discuss your comprehensive listener challenge. Choose 1 challenge from each category to practice this week. These activities will reinforce today's learning and build your confidence for real-world situations. For medical communication, at beginner level, practice describing common symptoms using present tense. Say aloud, I have a headache, my stomach hurts, I feel dizzy, I'm feeling nauseous. At intermediate level, role-play a complete medical appointment. Include greeting. The receptionist describing symptoms, asking questions, and thanking the doctor. At advanced level, research healthcare systems in an English-speaking country. Practice explaining the differences to a friend or family member. For service industry. Interactions at beginner level, practice ordering at different types of establishments. Use I'd like for restaurants, can I have for casual settings, could I get for polite requests. At intermediate level, practice handling service mistakes politely. Use phrases like, I think there's been a misunderstanding, and could you check my order, please? At advanced level, engage in small talk with service workers. Practice commenting on weather, asking about recommendations, or expressing appreciation for good service. For transportation and travel at beginner level, practice asking for travel information. Use, what time does the train leave? How much does it cost? Which platform? At intermediate level, compare. Different travel options. Practice using comparative language. Faster than, more expensive than, the most convenient. At advanced level, plan a complete journey using English resources. research schedules, book tickets online, and practice. Explaining your itinerary. Use this self-assessment checklist to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5, where 1 means needs improvement and 5 means very confident. For vocabulary mastery, rate. I can use medical vocabulary accurately. I understand service. Industry terminology, I know transportation-related words. For grammar application, rate. I can form polite requests correctly. I use present tense for current situations. I ask questions with proper structure. For pronunciation skills, rate. I pronounce target vocabulary clearly. I use appropriate stress patterns. I link words naturally in speech. For cultural awareness, rate. I understand healthcare etiquette. I know service industry expectations. I'm aware of transportation customs. For communication confidence, rate. I can handle misunderstandings politely. I ask for clarification when needed. I express gratitude appropriately. Establish progress tracking activities with daily practice of 5 to 10 minutes. Record yourself reading. 1 vocabulary section aloud. Practice 1 dialogue with proper intonation. Use 3 new phrases in context. Weekly review should take 20 to 30 minutes. Listen to the episode again and note improvements in comprehension. Practice all pronunciation exercises. Complete 1 listener challenge activity. Monthly assessment involves recording yourself having a complete conversation in each scenario. Compare your recordings to track progress. Set new learning goals based on areas needing improvement. Learning English is a remarkable journey that requires dedication, patience, and courage. Today, you've engaged with complex vocabulary, intricate grammar patterns, and nuanced cultural information. This represents significant progress in your language development. Remember that language learning is not about perfection. It's about communication, connection, and confidence. Every time you practice these phrases, every moment you spend listening to English, every interaction you have in English, you're building valuable skills that will serve you throughout your life. The scenarios we've explored today represent real life situations where effective English communication makes a meaningful difference. When you can confidently navigate a medical appointment, you're taking care of your health. When you can order food or drinks comfortably, you're participating in social and cultural experiences. When you can travel independently using English, you're opening doors to new opportunities and adventures. These aren't just language exercises. They're life skills that empower you to live, work, study, and thrive in English-speaking environments. Language learning is a lifelong process. Even native speakers continue to learn new words, expressions, and communication strategies throughout their lives. Embrace the journey with patience and self-compassion. Set realistic goals for yourself. Perhaps this week you'll practice 1 medical phrase each day. Maybe next week you'll order something new at a coffee shop. Or you might research transportation options for a future trip. Small, consistent steps lead to significant progress over time. Confidence comes from practice, not perfection. Every time you use English, you're building neural pathways that make future communication easier and more natural. Don't worry about making mistakes. Native speakers make mistakes too. Focus on communicating your message clearly and connecting with others. Practice speaking aloud, even when you're alone.